time. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Nama. Greetings to everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, world over, wherever you are, hearty welcome to you on Sunday evening, tourism and financial services exports with our NRIs, brothers and sisters across the globe. And today's topic is something amazing, tourism and financial services exports, how tourism adds value. I will show you the presentation later. Let's go straightway for the travel and tourism with Mr. Vikas Malhotra, who's traveling at this point of time. He's at the airport and he had been very kind to join us. That's the passion he has got. And he has got a flight in next 13 minutes. And before that, I requested him, he said, 10 minutes, let's talk. That is the passion of the profession. With these words, Mr. Vikas Malhotra.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's always a pleasure to be a part of the tourism industry, wherever in the world you are. And my apologies for this time. I'm just in a little bit of rush because I have to take a flight in very soon. So tourism is healthy, as we always say. I'm right now at the Charlotte airport. We came here for just 2 or 3 days, and it's wonderful. I would say even if you get 2 days of your time of your life, just go. Just make use of the time and make the best of it.
Great, great. That's lovely. That's lovely. We can see you are right at the airport and you have to travel in a little while. Just you can, yeah, we can see. We can see.
I'm right
we
outside.
Can see you're right at the airport. It's a practical tourism. It's a practical tourism. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Tell something about your experience of this particular travel which you have taken. Let's talk a little bit about it. Yeah.
Sure. So very good place. It's basically in a state of North Carolina in US where I am right now. And the best way to move around is rent a car if you can drive. Otherwise, there's a lot of public transportation. The facilities are great. The infrastructure is very good. And everything is with the system over here. And the hotels are very good. There are all kind of chains of the hotels that you can get here. You can get the Sheratons, Holiday Inns. And this is the place which is absolutely going to make you smile when you just land and you want to spend more time over here. But we all have to go back to the real world, to our base home. Yeah.
Okay. And secondly, you're putting on leather jacket, if I can make out clearly. Yeah. Is it very cold there?
It is plus 11 right now. It is raining outside, so and it's morning out. Okay. A little bit in a comfort zone. Yeah.
Okay. Great. 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 And what's happening?
Sorry, I must say the leather jacket is from India.
That's great.
Last year.
That's great. That's great. Swadeshi. That's great. Okay. So, Vikas, we won't take much of time today because you have to travel. You've got a flight in 7-8 minutes. Quickly, if you would like to give some tips or something to our younger generation, tourism, hospitality, aviation, whatever is you would like to talk a little bit, because you have taken so much of trouble to join us right from the airport. I can appreciate. And I really, really feel very happy that you're joining us all the way, even when you are traveling. And Madam is also with you. But at the same time, you told her, give me 10 minutes and then I join you back. Great. Please go ahead.
So I'm just going to say that have a vision, be passionate in what you do. Tourism is one industry which brings smiles on everybody's face. It also gives a lot of multiplier effect to the economy of any place that you come from. It also helps you to get more and more of like the local employment. And that is one industry which you don't have to really struggle, like medicine. I mean, I have a lot of respect for the doctors as well, but it is like it really enhances the experiences of your life. It really talks about you really feel, and you will take that with you all your life through wherever. And everybody likes to talk, oh, I went there and I saw this and I saw that. So they like to share what they've done in life. So very, very enriched powerful industry is what we are into.
Great. Vikas, you would be so happy to know. I just wish to share with you in this 40-year wonderful journey which we have taken with travel and tourism, and together with you since 1994. And when you are based earlier in Dubai, now in Canada, and you keep traveling Mexico, US, so many other countries. Now, something which I have realized after 40 years, that you may have a good policy, you may have a good planning, you may have a good marketing, you may have a good strategy, you may have a good packaging, everything is fine. But where is the foundation of tourism? That is basically the tourist guides. Because if you want to get a repeat tourism to your country, and if you want to get people coming back to your country and going satisfied from your destination, from India back to their home and talk to people and tell them, travel to India. So yesterday, you would be happy to know, we had 25 tourist guides with the different languages and the complete association of the travel guide, which is Delhi and surrounding. They all joined yesterday and they expressed their views. And we are planning to host event for them in Chandigarh. Their annual convention we should have in Chandigarh. That's what we are planning. I will take you that time on online on the Zoom session from Canada. We will work out some final words, and then you please go for your flight. I don't want you miss your flight. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, I just need to rush, and I would just say, enjoy life to the best of what you can.
Wow, that's great. Happy travel and take care of yourself. Have a best of journey. Regards to your family. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye-bye. Bye. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Vikas Malhotra. And I'm waiting for Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarti ji, who is a financial expert. He's a CPA, and he took care of the entire Africa earlier. And thereafter, he moved to Canada, and every Sunday he joins us. And we hold the discussions with each other. And today, he's going to talk about something related to financial services, what we have got. Give me a minute. Let me just try and contact him. And thereafter, I get back to all of you. Meanwhile, you enjoy this beautiful waterfall at the back. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I just had a word with Mr. Kotamarti ji, and he's joining us in a while from Canada. Now, yesterday, when we were holding, the discussion of the entire guiding, the fraternity and all the legends of the guiding services, they were with us. I realized that, how much is to be done. And there was a pain, there was a pain which I felt, and by some of the participants, that how they are being taken. And, recently, a couple of things, which they expressed yesterday. Well, we will make it in the blueprint, and then we will try and work it out. And it was Anand Kumar Panditji, the president of the Regional Tourist Guide Association of India. And he was the one who brought all the people together on a common platform yesterday. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by, CPA, Surya Vijay Shastri Kotamarti from Canada. Hearty welcome, pleasure, and green morning to you.
Good morning, Dr. Sharma. Good evening for you, and good afternoon, good morning to everyone across the world. Today, I'm taking position number 2. I'm sorry for the delay in joining, and appreciate everyone's presence. I would like to talk today, continue on what we discussed earlier. In the earlier weeks, we were talking about vocational services and how to come over to Canada under that category. Is that something we can continue, Dr. Sharma?
All up to you. But today's topic, which otherwise we had taken, there's tourism and financial services exports. But all up
Okay.
to you, because we are very flexible. It's not that we have to go as per the no. I mean,
No,
so we are told
I can go according to the discussion, and
no,
I
no.
can talk a lot about the financial services. Being a chartered accountant, I will not go into the accounting, auditing, and other side of it. But let me talk about the financial services, which is a very big sector here in Canada. Financial sector includes insurance, includes people who invest, includes people who put investments into many corporations. So it also covers those people who would be interested in bringing in investment from India. So certainly this is also a very important sector. In fact, I'm from the finance industry. I'm a chartered accountant, and I would always love to talk about it. And let me speak about the financial services. Um, there are various stages. Means people can register as financial advisors. There are organizations which encourage, especially newcomers to the country, to get engaged in these type of services. We have companies like Primerica. We have companies like World Service Group, World Financial Group. They actually have the multi-chain system of development where people can join them. So this is one area where they take care of. They look at your investment portfolio. They look at whether you are investing or not. They see your total income, and based on that, they decide what are the various types of areas where you can invest. So it's a very, very important thing. There are courses for the securities, which there is an organization where you can do courses for securities and learn more about securities. There are courses that are organized for people who want to go into the life insurance business. Now, these reasons I'm talking about all these services is these services can be offered after getting some updates on these, getting those accreditations, which are not a very long-term accreditation, but they can quickly be acquired, provided you have the interest and you also have, the ability to do it. And they are not very expensive; they can easily be done. Now, most of these things can be offered only when you are in Canada. So whatever we speak on our program, we always encourage people to migrate to Canada so that they can come here. And after coming here, if they already are aware of what they are supposed to do, straight away they can go into that. And we at ICSI, we are there anyway to help them out in many ways that relate to this. So I've just given a brief out structure and how people can get into the financial sector. Then, of course, there are designated courses like Certified Financial Planner and many other courses relating to the designations in financial industry. But with certain diplomas and certain accreditation, they'll be able to get into the financial sector. I will open it for questions, and if not, I can continue on.
Thank you very much for that brief intro to the entire thing. Kotamartiji, we are today keen because we have made it. Vikas was at the airport and he had to travel and catch a flight at 10:50 locally over there. And he spoke for about 10 minutes right from there on tourism services exports. I'm keen today to know from you the financial services, exports from India to Canada. That means people, those are in India, how they can work for the companies, those are right over there in Canada, because there is a timing difference, morning and night. Now it's a morning for you, it's getting night over here. And when it will be night for you, it will be tomorrow early morning for us. So making use of that time, and the professionals, those are in India, how can they be a part of this? Maybe they are startups, maybe they have got LLP company, maybe they are individual, maybe it's some firm which wants to align with Canada. Please educate us on that.
Certainly, Sharmaji, for that, they do not need to have anything that relates to what is required in Canada. There is a very big system in place called the business process outsourcing, and it is right now being done at a very high level, where very many big companies like Bell Canada, including ADP Canada, which is a very big organization. It is a US-based company based out of Canada, and they are the biggest in the payroll processing. And they have their own offices in India. So there are accounting services. In fact, we have in the past, many my colleagues also have used the services of chartered accountants based out of India, and I myself know of many companies in India which have a big setup for wherein the employees come and they get into the office under tight security controls, and once they are in the office, they do not have their cell phones, but the access is given to the client data on the computers of the Indian companies, and they process that. So it is a very big industry, and if people want to get into it, even small enterprises, it is not necessary that it is only the big companies that have to do this. Now, the only thing you will have to, as an Indian outsourcing company, you have to ensure that you have the systems in place which are required for giving the confidence to the Canadian companies that you have you will be able to provide the services without any difficulty. Now, to start with, even if you have one or two computers, they call it as seats. So even if you have one or two computers, you can still have the security, tight security for those two, and show how you will be able to secure that through the cloud. There are many ways of doing it, and certainly, and that's why, ICSI is the bridge for people who want to export their services from India. It's a very lengthy process, and each process is depending upon the industry that they want to serve. They can, and this is not just only in the finance industry, Srimaji. It can be in the law. There are many lawyers who use. There are and in the past there are many doctors who have actually, and I think it's still continuing, where they narrate their what they are prescribing, and that is put in the form of a voice text and converted into the script in India, and then it is it's called data transcription. And this is also a very big industry which has been there for years. I know at least it's there at least for the past 2 decades. I am here for the past 25 plus years, but I know that this is something which is there. So the scaling can always be done. It is just a scale up, but that should not be a point of discouragement or anything for people who are young, or who are young in their structure. When I say young, even a startup is young enough, but it's not necessary. It all depends on how you have understood the industry that you want to service. And that's where ICSI can come, you and I, and because all of us are there where we can tell them. So I hope I've been able to cover what exactly can be done for export services
Absolutely.
from India.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for the valuable inputs. And, basically, the challenging task for the newcomers and for the new chartered accountant or for the new financial facilitators would be to identify the companies with whom they can tie up in Canada to get the work from there. And I think there your organization can play a very important role, because ultimately it is a bridging. It is basically demand and supply has to meet each other and to understand the nitty-gritties and the task which is to be undertaken. And youngster over here may not be at his or her own efforts able to identify a company over there. There, I think your organization can come handy. And we are talking about services exports. In India, it's so simple. And I was so very happy when I've gone through the whole process now, that in services exports, you just get the money, you raise the invoice, you pay the tax to the government in India, and you go ahead with your business to grow it. So I just want to take your piece of advice on that.
Sure. There is when companies service and pay the money, they will have to, of course, it is export service. In fact, I'll tell you some more benefits that for export services that people get. There are government subsidies that they get on export services, which is export subsidy, which probably is there for service industry, because this is a very big industry in India, the export services. And I'm sure that they'll be able to get some sort of subsidy for the local taxes and all are not there because it's an export service. So the HST and other things that they normally charge to their clients in India, they do not have to charge to them. But there are of late very many strict regulations that have come over in Canada, because this particular sector was having some challenges from the Canadian side when people are employing the services of people abroad. But challenges will always be there, processes will always have to be followed, and there is no restriction on going through that. The best thing is to we will be able to provide help based on how much infrastructure they have, how at what level they have reached. Only when we are convinced that they have the required details. Certainly, I'm sure in India they can contact ICSI, and you and I, through ICSI, we can always assist them in everything that is required. Especially I being in the finance, and I help so many companies establish in Canada. Same thing, establish in India from the Canadian side. I can certainly tell the processes, and it can be done. I have many companies which are based out of India, and they are providing services in IT for in the US, and they are also establishing in Canada. So it is possible. It's only the scalability we don't have to worry about.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think it was quite valuable today. People are quite happy because whatever question they asked, that I had already taken up with you, and you have been very kind to give it. So we want to take this agenda forward, and we want to take this vision forward. And by step, we'll keep getting into many other areas, and look forward meeting you next Sunday morning again. Our deep gratitude and thanks to you for having spared your most valuable time early in the morning, right over there in Canada. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, world over, stay fit, stay fine, keep growing, keep smiling, be happy, and happy